has never been done before. Now, when we got the idea and we worked with the idea to create an integrated mobility solutions ecosystem from assembly, sales and service all the way to mobility, nobody knew how to set this up. We thought it was a great idea, and we now needed to work through basically everything in the last 12 months. There's no historic data, so we needed to work with assumptions. We had teams on the ground studying the behavior of Rwandan customers, and it simply took a long time, but look, it came to a great end.
Now, 2016, December 21st, you entered an agreement with the government of Rwanda. Just help us understand in terms of incentivizations, and how long is this particular agreement for? We were looking for a partner and a country that is as excited as we are about trying this in Africa. We found in Rwanda, a situation very unique. The government, especially the RDB, was super professional to work with and to work it out. Now, as to the incentives, there's nothing untowards. All the incentives that you can read in the normal Rwandan investment book that we are getting as well. And so for now, what we are trying is something nobody's ever tried. So Rwanda is a great place to do that. Okay. Now, again, when should we expect to see the assembly plant up and running? And are there talks of producing in Rwanda, like manufacturing in the country? And if yes, what are the necessities, some of the necessities that need to be put in place to facilitate manufacturing in the country?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have identified a building already that we're in the final negotiations now to get it into our realm. We will fit it out. The equipment is already on its way. We are a very modular, very organized company in this, so the setup will probably take another 3 months. But we will be ready for operation probably at the end of April with the facility. The training has to happen, the recruitment, so it's all happening at the same time. But we proved in Kenya last year that we were up and running within 2.5 months. It is possible to be done. And of course, I mean, assembling in Rwanda is also about pride. It's about doing it here in this country where nobody else was looking at doing that in the auto industry. We believe in this country, so it will be made in Rwanda. And then with volume, when you produce more and more vehicles, you can do local content in the long run. You can produce the parts, hopefully, in this country or in the region for that matter. I mean, regional integration, working together with the partners in the EAC will be fundamentally important.
So again, on the market segmentation, we do understand that Volkswagen looks at introducing over the 3 models in the market. That is the Passat, you're looking at a big SUV, and then the new Polo. Just help us understand, what is the market segmentation for this, and which cars are for which clientele?
One of the key problems with Africa and cars is that Africa is the dumping ground of used cars from many places of the world, but specifically from Japan. We know that East Africa right-hand drives mainly from Japan, the left-hand drives mainly from Dubai or Middle East. This is a drug that Africa needs to come off from. This doesn't create jobs. It creates it's a business that people profit from, but mainly outside the country. Nigeria has started a significant auto policy to reduce the importation and finally abolish it of used cars. South Africa, for example, has 0 used car importation, 0. But they also have their own industry. We do about 700,000 vehicles per year production in South Africa, and 7 major big companies are producing cars in South Africa and exporting worldwide. So it can be done, just got to start somewhere. There is no real historic data. And the reason why people drive the one or the other car at the moment in Rwanda, I wouldn't really say that is because they really want that car. That's maybe the one car that was available on offer. So since there is no real free market to choose from, like in the US or in Europe, it's just the one that is there. So we didn't base it on that. We based our assumptions on starting with the Polo, Polo is, together with the Polo Vivo that we have as a submodel in South Africa, the most sold vehicle in sub-Saharan Africa. So chances are Rwandans will like it as well. We just have a new Polo that we launched by the end of this month. Phenomenal car. We think it's perfect fit for Rwanda. The Jetta is a sedan, slightly bigger. You can fit conveniently 5 people in it and luggage and all of that. Maybe a little bit more luxurious. And then, of course, the big SUV. We see a few big SUVs here on the road. We think that with the TERAMONT, which is a new vehicle that's just been launched in our group, that's a good price point, would be a successful car for here. Now, the most important aspect is we are not just another ride-hailing company. These cars are, first of all, assembled in this country, and we own the cars. So it's not just somebody giving you an app and let it run and offer some rides and hasn't got any skin in the game. We are fully in. We own it. We employ the drivers. So there's a completely different, fundamentally different system to that. So we are fully committed to this. Now, the taxi, you have a taxi industry, correct? But it is this whole transport sector is growing. I mean, when you look at how they've grown from within the last 2 years already, from about 500 taxis in Kigali to about 1,300 or what it was, can't remember the number. That can be integrated. So it's taxi drivers today drive old cars. Why don't you get them into a new car, into a Volkswagen, made in Rwanda? This country is so organized, so green. Why not with transport? And that's what we're coming in with.
Now, as of recent, we're looking at, say, a week ago, we did see some increment on the premium insurance for car owners here in Kigali. And the general sentiment for car owners was, a little bit discouraging. But just help us understand from your point of view, given you did some feasibility studies a year or two ago when the premiums were a bit lower. Fast forward to today, what does this mean for you and then your market?
Yeah, look, we'll have to see. The insurances usually depend on, how much does it cost to fix a car after an accident, how is the repairability of a vehicle, spare part prices, and so on. Volkswagen is great in this field. That's why we are by far market leader in South Africa and Southern Africa, because insurance premiums are low. So it's great that that we also come to Rwanda now with this. I wouldn't get too worried about this. This is a probably temporary hike that happened here. I don't know what the reasons were, what led to this, but we'll have to look into that. It's not doesn't kill the business plan.
Now, how long is it going to take Volkswagen to realize the returns on investment? And are you looking at it from, say, an East African angle, or are you coming to it from a country-to-country basis?
Now, this business plan for this phase 1 is entirely on Rwanda. Okay, it's got nothing to do with our activities that we are doing in Kenya. This is Rwanda, and look, we wouldn't have done it if there wasn't at least a minimal return in this game. Now, we're not doing this to waste money. Nobody has time for this. So we believe, and everything is based on assumptions. We believe there is a case. Now, will it be 2 years, 3 years, next year? I don't know. I honestly don't know. This has never been tried before, and we'll get it started. We never find out if we don't get started. And for now, we believe this is the right approach. It's the right country to do it in, and we'll have this discussion maybe next year, and then we'll tell you if it worked or not. For now, I think we are on the right track.
Now, finally, give us a sense on the Think Blue model that you look at introducing in a foreseeable future. It has been quoted as environmentally friendly and also the electric version of a Golf. Now, how conducive is it, and what needs to be put in place in terms of infrastructure and also policies? What needs to be done?
Right now, electric mobility really only takes off where governments help subsidize it or help offset the difference in cost. An electric vehicle, you can say, is plus minus 7,000 to 8,000 euros more expensive than a traditional petrol or diesel engine at the moment. So that is the battery stack in particular. So you have countries like Norway who have moved very strongly into that field, but because the government was focusing on it and they've been driving it so much. Now the game will change when this becomes more, when more volume comes in and becomes more affordable. Now, when you've seen the Shanghai Motor Show and you've seen the Detroit Motor Show for that matter, every manufacturer is showing their new full electric battery-driven vehicles, and with that, with the volume comes cost down. So there will eventually be a point where battery and battery-driven cars and petrol cars will probably cross the pricing line. And then things will change, maybe overnight. But in a country like Rwanda with very, very short distances, you know, who really drives 500 kilometers a day, every day? The charging really is done at home. So this belief that you have to have charging stations everywhere, on every corner to survive this. Most people drive like 50 kilometers. They charge their car at home if they have a battery electric car, and they charge it maybe at work, and that's it. So the countries need to get policy right, and the countries need to get sort of a start, at least with an infrastructure on the main routes, and then you're good to go.